Let's go back to these Philadelphia Eagles. And there's been much conversation about their offense, right? Not too much conversation about their defense. There's
Yep.
been a lot of conversation about Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, right? The head coach Nick Sirianni. We know this is one of the best teams in football. I want to ask you on a confidence meter, right? With 10 being the utmost confident, one being I'm not confident at all. What is your confidence meter in the Eagles returning back to the Super Bowl?
I'd say it's about an 8 right now.
Okay.
I know this was a lackluster performance, but when you talk about having to win tough games in tough environments, Lambeau Field's still Lambeau Field. It was still a primetime game in a game where Green Bay had every reason to come out and want to smack Philadelphia in the mouth. They needed it more. And Philadelphia came out, took care of business. And I know that Philly doesn't win pretty, but they never have. This is Philly just figures it out. It's grimy, and that's what they do. And they kind of have this like we manufacture narratives. Like I'm kind of convinced that when we get to a 30 for 30 in 20 years about this team, they're going to let out that the AJ Brown stuff was a joke that they were all in on that none of the rest of us were in on. Because it just feels like they're manufacturing storylines and reasons to be like, nobody believes in us and we believe in ourselves. It's like the Michael Jordan, the Tom Brady, the Tiger Woods, the Kobe Bryant. Greatness, this is what great people do. They just manufacture stuff to want reasons to beat you. And it kind of feels like that's where we've approached with Philadelphia. And I know that everybody's respecting the Chiefs still, even though if the season ended today, the Chiefs would not be in the postseason. So if we're going to give that much respect to the Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning Super Bowl champions, who are in a driver's seat in the NFC East, should be getting that much respect when we talk about who could return to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to this confidence meter in the Eagles returning back to the Super Bowl. I'm gonna say a 7. So right under you, you went 8. I'm gonna say 7, and 7 is just a nod and due respect to the rest of the NFC, right?
Yeah,
When we
for
talk
sure.
about the Seattle Seahawks and them putting up, I think, 28 points in the first quarter against the Arizona Cardinals, the Los Angeles Rams and Matthew Stafford, and you talked about it on yesterday's show. What 25 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, probably playing the best football of his entire career. Then we just talked about the NFC North, right? So I think it's more respect to the rest of the NFC and how all of those teams, Paige Dimakos, they can score 40 and they can also hold your team to 10 points. And that's what makes
100%.
this NFC so competitive. But I would still put the Philadelphia Eagles as the favorite overall.
That's the only reason I gave them an 8 and not a 10, because quite frankly, the discussion around the Chiefs just automatically being a lock on the AFC side is ridiculous when
Yeah.
they're not in a postseason position. They're in third place in their division, and we're halfway through the season. At a certain point, we need to be honest about what we've been seeing. And yes, I understand Kansas City until they're knocked off, sure, but Philadelphia is the reigning Super Bowl champions. I feel like that conversation should allow them a little bit more wiggle room in the same way that Kansas City's being gifted that wiggle room. So I'm in agreement with you. The only reason why it's not a 10 is because I have so much faith in the LA Rams. That's it.
Yeah.
Really, the LA Rams are the team that I look at and go, they're unafraid to play anybody, and Matthew Stafford's playing the best football of his career.